How you day? How una day? Yeah? Me self, I won't come out this here for my head. Should be his time. Should be his time. I say make her come, make her sit down, make her gist small. Eh? Last, I go remove them. Last, I go remove them. So I say make her come film small video for una. For all of una. Eh? So a day, my body good. How you day? Yeah, okay. I ain't never spoke pidgin before in my life, but that didn't sound half bad. That really didn't sound half bad, if I'm honest. Anyway, let's get this show on the road, honey. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to our channel. I am JC. If you are new here, from Just Lost JC here. Oh, whatever. Now I've had this protective hairstyle in for a month pretty much. So this is me taking down my protective style after a month of wearing it. I figured I'd record it because I'm super excited to take it down because I'm on a 3-month hair journey. And you know, any opportunity you get to say, oh man, what's the new growth? What are we looking like? It's very exciting. We got a little, you know, new growth action. Nothing too crazy. It's been a month, so, you know, can't expect too much. But also, we love to see it because these braids were actually pretty tight. Whenever I do crochet braids, I braid the root tight when I get it under there for the individual sections. The back, it's a bit harder to tell because, you know, it's a different way I do it. So it's like all this here is new growth, and then we have this new growth as well as potentially my twist loosening. But anyway, you guys know I use my oil. I've been using my oil to oil my scalp. OMALICHILD oil. Definitely check the link down below if you are interested in getting it. So many people already have. And sweetie, we're getting those gains. Those gains, honey. Down. So I've already sectioned it off. So the front section, you know that I did individuals with. So I put that separate from the back section, which will be super easy and super fast to remove. For the front section, I'm just gonna untwist it like normal because again, this is the section where my hair is just twisted in normally. So of course I was most nervous about the front section because this is the section that's twisted into my normal hair. So I'm like, let's see how my normal hair is doing here. The back section, child, I already know it's gonna be a breeze. It's still probably gonna feel very, very moisturized because whenever I've done my crochet twists, my crochet styles this way, the back has always been super moisturized. When I say moisturized, it's like, did y'all even dry out from when I originally put the product? But it makes sense because it's literally compacted together. It's braided together. They were super moisturized when I put them in. So I'm not too worried about that. But the front, I'm always like, Lord, please look normal. Look normal and healthy. Healthy. So yeah, I twist this out. And of course I can't really cut the front because these are some shorter twists. My hair pretty much reaches the end, so I don't even get to do the whole cheat code thing where you get to cut some off. I kind of have to, you know, do it the long way, child. You get the bottom, once you get the bottom loose, then it starts coming out easier. Okay, I think it is all done. Yeah, you just separate your hair from it. This is my hair I'm trying to separate from the twist hair. Slide it on out. Okay. Similar with this side. Slides out, and then we got my hair here. And this is the new growth. This is not the new growth, obviously that's the braid, as you can see. And then this is the bit of grow here. Exciting, good stuff. Gotta say I'm excited about that. No complaints. Okay, so let me know how this journey has been going for you guys. Obviously, this first month of the journey I decided to do this style, which I actually love. So I didn't just do the regular twist. So that was good because I was a bit nervous that I was going to get a bit handsy. I was going to get bored. But doing the crochet style, it made it this crochet style specifically made it very easy to keep my hair in because it's cute. I really liked it. So I wanted to keep it in here for as long as I could without it being too much. So that's why I'm taking it out now. But I'm excited because, of course, I get to see the progress, touch my hair, wash it, do all the things that it needs to keep it healthy. And then we're going to get it back into the protective style and continue on to month number 2. Month numero 2. But this protective style journey, I'm experimenting a bit more with switching up the style. Last 6 months, I pretty much stuck with straight 2-strand twists of my own hair. And this time, obviously, I started off with the crochet braids, which right now is looking like it was a great idea because my hair is looking normal and healthy, just like, you know, I needed to. So I'm excited. But how is it going for you guys? I'm very curious how it is for you if you're doing just regular straight styles, which is also good, and if you're switching it up with different things, whatever works for you and whatever's easier. Honestly, this style takes a bit longer to put in than my regular twists, but also it looks neater, longer, and it does last longer. Like my twists I usually keep for 3 weeks. This I kept for a month, and it's still, I like when things get a bit fuzzy on top because to me it looks more natural that way. And it still looked good. I'm just taking it out because obviously the point of this is to grow my hair. And I'm not trying to get too carried away with leaving my hair in a style and not washing and replenishing and cleaning the scalp and all that, because I am oiling my scalp with my oil every 2 to 3 times a week. I don't want that build up to get too crazy. So I'm like, a month is already pushing it. But this hair still feels like new. I know some people wash and reuse their hair. Tell me, do you guys do that? I'm curious. Do you not do that? But I used to see that a lot of people, especially in Nigeria too. I remember my cousins, they used to take some of the attach, wash it, and use it again, which is great for recycling because I think these are made of some sort of synthetic plastics of some sort, so makes sense to recycle. This is my first time having crochet twists that were this length, honestly, and I love short styles. I've said this in the video in the past, but ever since I saw Jada Pinkett Smith's hairstyle from Set It Off, I've wanted that look. I've craved that look, and I saw that movie when I was younger. Ever since, it's been on my mind. I remember I really wanted it. I once went to African hair braiding place. That was back, you know, before I was a conscious natural. My hair was natural, but I wasn't really taking care of it. You know, I was under the impression like your hair, whatever length it is, however it looks, that's just how it is genetically. You can't do much to improve it. And so my mom was doing my hair. She was paying for me to go to African hair braiders. You know, I was in school. So I really wanted that style. I went to an African hair braider. It was the first day. I remember, I don't know if your parents did this, but my mom used to do this. As a back to school kind of thing, we got to get our hair done at the African hair braiding salon. It was too expensive, especially in New York, to do it normally all the time. So she would do my hair most of the time, all the time pretty much. Except first month back to school, we got to choose out a little style. So of course I had the Jada Pinkett in my head. I said, I want that. Give me the bob. Give me the braids with the bob, honey. And I went in and they were like, nah, your hair's too long, B. It would have, like my hair got longer than the bob would have looked nice with. So it just would have been some awkward like mid-length. It was just like whatever. So I ended up going with a longer braid style, my usual. But since then, I've just been like, I want that style. And when this whole crochet thing came out, I remember all my first crochet styles were me trying to achieve that short look. I went with some short dreadlocks at one point, or locks rather, faux locks. They were shorter, but I think this is the shortest I've ever done. And I was so nervous it wouldn't be able to go in the front because obviously I'm twisting my hair and doing individuals. I'm like, it's gonna be too long. But because it's an ombre look, it kind of blended, even with my hair, you know, sticking out at the bottom of some of them. It still worked out fine, so I was super excited. Y'all didn't ask all that, but listen, we untwisting the hair and we chatting, right? Right. I wanted to talk about Pretty Privilege. Hear me out, hear me out. I said hear me out. And ladybugs. Pretty Privilege and ladybugs. Hello, hello. Now, I don't actually know what I want to talk about, but I just want to, you know, rap, say a little something, something, ask your opinions and all them things there. But I love watching video essays And a lot of video essays that have been popping up for me have been about pretty privilege. And it's so interesting to me watching it because I started to think about the different facets of what makes someone considered pretty or attractive in general, you know? Because different societies find different things as being attractive. And obviously I am in America, I'm in the Western world. And to me, when I think of pretty, factors like featureism come into play. Factors like colorism come into play. Factors like texturism, me being in the natural hair community, come into play. So, for instance, you may be considered pretty and you might have all the privileges that come with that in terms of people in the world treating you better. Then of course there's desirability politics, which the halo effect plays a huge part in. So you're able to get, you know, better chances in life, for instance, because of the way you look, whether that's, I don't know, being in spaces where you have more access because people assume you have that access because of the way you look. And so of course you're around more access, it's more likely you'll get some of that access or you'll benefit from that access. Desirability politics and how much your desire can actually help you in mobility socially and economically. Cool. But then if you break it down and get into the smaller spaces, the more nuanced spaces, just because you are pretty doesn't mean that if you come onto a space, let's say like Instagram, for instance, and you're trying to join, you love natural hair, that's what you want to do. I'm going to use natural hair because that's the world I know. That you want to become a natural hair vlogger and stuff, but you have 4C hair. Well, in the hierarchy of texturism, 4C hair isn't seen as the highest on the list. It's not seen as the most desirable in the world that we live in this country right now. Now, 2 years ago, it didn't matter how pretty you were. If the texture of your hair wasn't what was sought after by the masses, by people that didn't even have that hair texture, you weren't getting brand deals like that. You weren't getting sponsorships like that. It would more likely go to a person with the texture that they felt was more desirable or that people would aspire to. Whether that person was more pretty objectively than you or not. So to me, I'm like, pretty privilege. How far? Like, it is a thing. I 100% believe it is a thing. And I do think that it's a thing irrespective of all the isms, featureism. Like, you can be pretty or receive pretty privilege but not receive privilege when it comes to colorism individually, or not receive privilege when it comes to texturism individually, or not receive the privilege that you get with featureism, you know? That's why it's so interesting to me. And that's why I think looks in general are so interesting to me. One, because they are very subjective, but also because you might look on paper, it might seem like, you wouldn't be considered that attractive because on paper you have all the things that in our society say that you shouldn't be. But you are, you know? Anyway, you guys let me know what you think about that. Because I'm wondering if pretty privilege is that thing that maybe transcends the featureism and the colorisms and stuff when you look at pretty as a whole or attractive as a whole, but doesn't transcend it enough to give you the benefits in the individual subcategories. You lot let me know. And then I started thinking about, I said, what about a ladybug? A ladybug. Think about it. A ladybug, a butterfly, they're bugs. They are bugs, but because of the way they look, because not just of the way they look, because if you actually look at a butterfly, if you actually look at it, it's a bit creepy, it's a bit mad, it's a bit, there's hanky-panky, crinkum crankum, same as a ladybug. If you actually deep it, and look at what you're looking at, something that's polka dotted. Now listen, the last time I had polka dots, I had chicken pox, honey. Last time I had polka dots, I had mosquito bites all over my leg. It wasn't a good sight, okay? Polka dots to me aren't associated with health. Polka dots to me aren't associated with something that I want on my body. Maybe on a shirt, cute. But I guess because it's a pattern, and so, you know, people love patterns. I guess because butterflies also have patterns. People love patterns, and they love naturally occurring patterns. Maybe that's it. But my point is, that ladybugs, and butterflies, at the end of the day, they're bugs. At the end of the day, when you deep it, fam, they're actually bugs. But they benefit. Those bugs benefit from pretty privilege. Let me explain. Hear me out. When have you ever heard someone say, look at this ladybug flying around my house. Come kill it. People want to get a cup. People want to get a spoon. People want to get a bowl. They want to put it out and they want to take it out safely, okay? I'm not talking about those people that take bugs out in general. Like they see a cockroach and they're like, let me get a cup and put it outside. No, I'm talking about the people that are killing bugs. Like any bug in their space, you're dead. Except the ladybug and the butterfly. I've never heard someone say, look at this butterfly flying around my house. Where's the raid? Get the raid so I could kill this butterfly. I've never heard that before in my life, you know? So I think it's safe to say, in conclusion, that we know pretty privilege in our lives. It shows up in different ways. So I can't even deny that it exists, because if it can exist in the insect kingdom, then why can't it exist in the human domain? Okay? It can exist. I would never be one of those people that say it doesn't. And if you don't think it does, then next time you see a butterfly, on sight, dead on sight. I would literally never hurt a butterfly. How dare I hurt a butterfly? The similarity really between the ladybug and the butterfly and other insects with pretty people or attractive people is that sometimes you don't even really have to really be attractive. You just have to fit the mold of what we deem as attractive. Like I said, if you actually look at a butterfly, it's kind of creepy. It has these wings and then the body looks like a bee. It's weird. It's very weird. Ladybugs as well. Why does it look like that? It looks like a pill bug, but it's red with black dots. Like when you actually think it's red. Nothing that you want to go towards in life is red. You see a stop sign, you run. You know what I'm saying? You see a black widow with the red, you run. So all of a sudden we're running towards the red ladybug because people have told us that it's something that we should love from childhood. And so it's ingrained in us that spiders are scary, but ladybugs are cute. But it's like, nah, they're both weird. But again, society has told us that certain people are attractive, or certain people we're supposed to love, or certain people we're supposed to think are really good people just because of the way they look. That's mad. You think about it. The ladybug and the butterfly. Listen, I told you to hear me out. So, y'all let me know if I'm crazy. Let me know if you think that's even a thing. One, if you believe it, let me know. If you're like, nah, that's BS. Everyone's treated the same. Doesn't matter how they look, then let me know that too. I would love to know. And if you have specific examples of someone that you feel like benefits from pretty privilege, or an instance where you've seen someone benefiting from pretty privilege and you're like, what is going on here? Please let me know, because I believe these things happen. I do not have an example in my life personally, not that I could think of. Child, I just be getting by. Child, just be getting by. If I'm honest, that's the thing too about pretty privilege. Sometimes it's silent, you know, kind of like prejudice when it comes to race. Like, they don't have to blatantly come out and say, I think you're gonna steal from me, but you know, you see them following you around the store and you know what's up. You know what one, you know what I mean? You just know what's up. Same with pretty privilege. They might not come out and say, oh my god, I think you're so attractive, but they start treating you differently and you don't notice it because that's the way you're treated, and you assume everyone gets this treatment. But if you look a different way, that might not be the case. So, you know, I don't have any examples, but of course I don't know, because I only go out into the world as me, the way I look, the way I am. So I couldn't tell you how it would be otherwise. I'm sure some people have conducted experiments of that, but I haven't, so I don't know. And I think I go out in the world, and like, here's the thing. As much as I'm on this channel talking about and I know how to, you know, put a little something on my face, you guys know I don't do any full beats. How I look is not important to me, but it's not the highest on my list of things that I'm thankful for, or that I appreciate, or that I'm proud of about myself, if that makes sense. All that to say, I go out into the world enough presenting as someone that is dressing really well or up one day, and then the next day I'm dressing really, really down, sweatpants, sneakers, no eyebrows. Like, I do it enough that I haven't been able to notice the treatment. Now, I have heard some people say that if they go out so much with the full glam, full beat look, that when they come without it, you know, people notice. It's a question like, oh my god, are you okay today? Oh, you look so, insert some kind of passive aggressive insult here, okay? Some adjective that no one wants to be here. People notice, and so they can really tell the difference in the treatment. But like I said, I do both. So I really couldn't tell you. Also, in some of the videos I watched, people have talked about the negative effects of pretty privilege, how people assume because of your looks that you haven't worked hard to achieve whatever you've achieved in life. Or sometimes they assume that you're not very smart, or they assume you don't have much personality, all those things, which I found to be pretty interesting. I also am like, I believe there's a personality privilege, you know? I think there's a privilege that comes with people that have charisma, that comes with people that have, you know, something that's attractive about them in the way they present themselves or the way they take up a room or take up space and all those things. Now, of course, it's not the same because pretty privilege, for the most part, it's supposed to be something natural, something that you were born with, something you have no control over. Of course, this is a different day and age. There's nips, there's tucks, you can work out, there's skincare, you can do a lot of things to improve the way you look, but for the most part it's something that you're born with. Whereas people believe charisma, extroversion, taking up space, being mysterious, all those things are things that you can kind of craft and control about yourself, which I think is true to an extent. But I do believe that there are certain personalities that we are just naturally, I don't know if it's born with or kind of socialized into, because why are there shy people in the world and why are there people that are not shy? What? And why are there shy people in one household and not shy people in another household? Obviously, just because you're raised in the same house doesn't mean you've had the same experiences everywhere in your life. Obviously, people go off to different schools, people have different friends, But I just find that the siblings that I have that are extroverted are really boisterous and loud. They've kind of been that way. I can't remember a time in schools where, in any school they've went to at any age, where they weren't that person, and it's kind of carried over. That maybe now as adults or as older or younger adults, they're more subdued or they're more in control of whether they show that side or not. So it's changed a little bit now. But in terms of what they just naturally did when we were young, that was it. Just like me. When I was young, I was more quiet. I was raised in the same household as my siblings. It was just what I did. And that is still how I am today. Now, I am able to control that as an adult. I realize, okay, if I don't want to be quiet in this space, I don't have to. And if I do, I can. So I have more control over it. But it's not as easy or innate for me to go into a space as the extroverted, I'm here, notice me personality. I can do it, but it's not something that comes naturally. And I think that people love people that talk a lot and they assume a lot of things, a lot of negative things, shockingly enough. I have a friend that is more quiet and she said, I haven't had this experience, but she said that she would be bullied when she was younger because people assumed that she was rude or stuck up because she was just quiet. You know, it's so interesting. So I'm like, there is a privilege with people feeling like they know a lot about you, or feeling like you're very open. Whether you actually are open with details of your life, that's another thing. It's just strange. Humans are interesting. Humans are so interesting. We are individuals at the end of the day, and me personally, things that I find attractive, there are some people I know that are like, they're not into it. Okay, for instance, let me tell you this. My jaw, my mandible, impeccable. But there was a period of time I was not into it. I said, why my jaw so prominent? Why is it out here in these streets? Period. Like cutting bread, slicing bread. I was not into it. And then it was last summer or this past summer, I noticed that there were people getting, what are they called? Fillers in their jaw to give it a very angular shape. So they had a more soft jaw or not as defined jaw, and they were putting fillers in to get a look similar to mine. And I was like, I have it. At this point, I appreciate it. I love it. Listen, I love a good profile photo, if you can tell. So I love it now. I have no problem with it. But I remember thinking, like, if I were not born with this, I would have never thought to get injections to get the jaw that I have now. Does that make sense? Eyes are another thing. I know society loves big eyes. Society loves eyes that have some kind of, you know, light color to them. I really, really, really love black eyes. Not black eyes, but dark brown eyes. If I had to choose eye color, I would choose dark brown. And I'm not even lying. Like, I've always loved my eye color. I've always loved my hair color. If I can dye my hair color, it would be black. And if I would have any eye color, it would be dark brown, almost black. That is my preference. And I know that's not the norm. Same with eye shape. I love people with guys with almond to small eyes. I know people love big eyes. That's the thing. People love, but I personally just love that shape. as much as we are pack animals, we are individuals at the end of the day. So it's interesting to me. Just cutting out. I'm done with the front, or the top rather, so I'm just cutting out. I love doing the back because it's so easy to do, honey. Trying to make sure I don't cut myself, yeah. Woo, woo, woo. I know I took a hiatus, but I wanted to focus on getting the front done. So this, I just have to take out the little nibs and stuff from here, which will be pretty easy, and then grab off the net. Just got the net off of the back, and this is how much shedding I had in the front. But of course I'm going to do the actual detangle later on. But yeah, let me try and take this braid out. See what we're looking at like back here. I'm not even gonna lie, the back feels good. He's moisturized. He's moisturized. It feels amazing. For how long it's been under. We are done. The back is completely out, which I love. And of course the front is out. I had to retwist them. So of course I'm going to go wash my hair in twists, which is why I twisted the back and the front, my usual routine, and continue on this hair growth journey. Continuing on with the pretty privileged discussion, what I do want to leave on is this. Everyone has that thing in their life or that thing in the world that they like the look of, or they are drawn to or attracted to because it is unique. And the same way, I don't have any shame or any fear in saying those shoes are ugly, that sweater is ugly, but I love it. I feel like we as humans should take away how much beauty or pretty is put on a pedestal or pedestalized. It should be okay to be like, I mean, ugly has a negative connotation, so I wouldn't say that person's ugly and I love it. But it should be okay to be okay, not looking like everybody else, okay? That's all I'm gonna say. Anyway, that is that on that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please give me. How can they take if you don't give them? Tell me what you think about this topic. These are just ramblings that happen in my head usually when I'm untwisting my hair. Content that I watch when I'm untwisting my hair. So it was great to turn this on and chat with you guys. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, and I'm going to see you guys in my next video. Click the link down below, of course, if you want to get the hair growth oil that's giving me the new growth and that's helping me on this 3-month journey. Definitely click that link down below. Follow OMALICHILD on Instagram and follow me on Instagram if you would like. And I'm going to see you guys in my next video. Bye.